The swallowed food doesn't go travel around in our GI tract on its own, but it is the movements of our GI tract which keep the food pushing towards the next stop so that it gets digested, absorbed, and metabolized. Movement of gastrointestinal tract or the movement of gut or the movement of GIT. We all know that when we swallow the food, it goes down through the GI tract where it is digested, absorbed, and the waste is excreted. We swallow the food and it moves on its own after that. Have you ever wondered how does the food travel across there? Well, it is because of the movement of gastrointestinal tract itself which pushes the food forward. Here we'll see how the food reaches the stomach using the movements of these gastrointestinal tract. These movements include mastication or chewing and deglutination. Mastication is a fancy word for chewing. When we eat, our teeth and jaw work together to break down the food into smaller pieces, just like how a food processor does. This makes the food easier to handle as it moves along. Now, when we swallow, that's called deglutination. Imagine the food you chewed is moving from your mouth down to your stomach. Deglutination is further divided into three stages, which are oral stage, pharyngeal stage, and esophageal stage. Stage 1 is the oral stage. It is when the food moves from mouth to pharynx. It is the voluntary part because we move the food around in the mouth with our tongue. The tongue pushes the chewed up food to the back of the mouth. This little push creates pressure and helps the food move towards the next stop, which is stage 2, pharyngeal stage. Pharyngeal stage is when the food moves from pharynx to esophagus. The involuntary stage starts from here. There are four ways for food to go from the pharynx, which are mouth, nose, larynx, and esophagus. Out of the four available pathways, food has to go into the esophagus, which is present behind the larynx. But how does this happen? Let's find out. Position of the tongue seals the entry back to the mouth. Soft palate prevents the food to enter the nose, and epiglottis covers the larynx. When all the other parts are closed, the food or the bolus enters the esophagus. Stage 3 is the esophageal stage. It is also an involuntary stage. Esophagus carries the bolus to the stomach through peristalsis. Peristalsis is the movement of wave of contractions followed by the wave of relaxation. It moves the food in aboral direction, which is the direction away from the mouth.